Hello, everyone. So I'm just doing another chit chat, catching you up to speed on how the wedding went. And if you're wondering why this purple shirt keeps appearing, I love it for travel because it's spacious, it's a soft material, and it doesn't wrinkle, it doesn't, I can fold it, I can roll it, whatever. And if I'm on a plane or somewhere where I end up having to sleep in the shirt, it's comfortable. Like the neckline is really wide and it's long. Yeah. So, I'm tired. I didn't mean to sigh at you like that. I'm tired. I have my glasses on because like my eyes hurt because I'm, well, tired, and yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. So I arrived in the city Da Nang, which is in my. Am I gonna combine that video with this one? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. My hotel room tour that I've been doing in every location. Um, so yeah, check that video out to see where I'm staying. I arrived, so it was actually overcast here when I arrived, which I'm further south than Hanoi, which means the weather stays warmer, even though Hanoi is very warm right now, whereas they used to have winters, which is scary if you don't believe in climate change. It's real. Because when I was in Hanoi, we used to wear a coat, and we used to wear coat, like, not, it didn't require a Westerner who lives in a place that has winter wouldn't require like a heavy parka, but just like a wool winter or fall coat. I call it like a fall coat because it's lighter than what you would wear in the thick of winter if you're in a place where it gets to 20, 30, or 20, 10, 0 and below degrees. Actually, it made news just a couple years ago that Hanoi reached a low of maybe like 40 degrees, or maybe they reached the freezing point, which is cold for them, but it's usually, no, you know what? Maybe they were below freezing, the 20s or 30s. Cause like, I remember 30s and 40s when I was in Hanoi. Well, let's say 40s, cause I remember for the longest, I tried to get by with just like, kind of Columbia fleece jacket that I had. So I was like, you know what? I'm from the West, and we have winter, unless you're living in tropical Florida or like maybe California or somewhere, parts of Texas, I guess. You have winter, Arizona, or although maybe it gets cold there now too, and I know it cools down at night. Anyway, I'm rambling. So I was like, you know what, this isn't really cold. But eventually I broke down and bought a fall coat, like a 3/4 length coat, down, just down to the knee, because it was cold. And it gets cold, and everyone is like looking at me like, why don't you, like, are you not cold? But it was a matter of principle. So finally I, got a coat because it's necessary. That's the point in that story. And now it's been like 75 every day, and my friend actually confirmed that it doesn't get cold like it used to. So yeah, that's crazy stuff. So anyway, I'm in Da Nang, and I'm saying that wrong. Da Nang. And it was overcast, which usually it's sunny a lot. It's typically sunny, I believe. Well, here maybe they do get a little more cloudy and rainy weather, just a little bit. But the further south you go, the more sunny tropical weather you have in Vietnam. So Da Nang is, first of all, I love the beaches in Vietnam. I think they're better than a lot of the beaches that other people frequent, actually that's accurate because I don't really go to the beach in other places, I guess, like that. But yeah, like I have been to Vietnamese beaches a lot, and I really love this. Well, so my favorite city for the beach in Vietnam is Nha Trang, which is south of here. And I actually, for a split second, thought about going there because I just love that place. And it's where Cam Ranh Bay military base used to be during the Vietnam War, where they would go for R&R. It's just so beautiful down there. But Da Nang isn't bad either. It's a little more, well, I don't know. I haven't been in Nha Trang, obviously, but I think this city I'm in is more westernized. It's not westernized, but like a lot more foreigners live here. I think, even though you have them down in the other town as well, but I don't know, it's just like a nice beachy town. This one, a lot of buildings have gone up, a lot of buildings are going up. So what I started to say was, it was overcast when I arrived. I also like really needed a nap. So I took a nap, listened to some YouTube, and I know, crazy, right? And got up and went for my night walk just to check out the area like I've kind of been doing. Wanted to take you guys, but you know I'm weird about like filming, photographing in neighborhoods and things like that. I mean, not really. People wouldn't mind, but I don't like looking like a tourist. That's one thing. So even though they know that I'm a foreigner, obviously, because everyone just walking down the street asks, where are you from? And so, quick story, my first time coming to this city, I got lost and went walking through just like straight up Vietnamese neighborhoods where there were no hotels or any of that stuff or other, you know, foreigners. And people were literally running to the gates of their houses because they'd never seen an American, they'd never seen a black person. And they were just like begging to talk, to have a conversation. Hey, you know, where are you from? You're so beautiful. Please talk to me. I want to talk to you. And they don't really speak English. And like literally people were just like flooding, leaving their, you know, running to the windows, to the gates of their homes, things like that, you know, to say hi, to get a good, you know, get a look at the American, the black American, whatever. Although I don't know that they necessarily knew. No, people do know. Most Americans, people abroad can tell that you are American. People can tell that I'm American, although sometimes I do get things like, you know, some people have mistaken me for French before I talk. But it's the way a lot of us carry ourselves, and it can be a negative thing or a positive thing. So me, I'm tall, I come across as very confident, and just, I don't know, like all American in kind of a good way, just like bright and fresh and whatever. But then there's the other side of that coin where some people are obnoxious, or like how they dress. I don't know if you heard, in Europe especially, people, well, I don't know about now that there are fashion sneakers, but back before people were doing the athleisure thing, Europeans especially would say, you can always tell the Americans because they wear sneakers. So little things like that kind of give us away. But yeah, tonight I went walking around and people just like wanted to know where I was from, so they couldn't tell, which is kind of funny. Also, oh yeah, so I mean, I do pass, yeah, like that's a whole, anyway. So yeah, I went on my night walk. The beach is literally just right down the street, as I thought it was. I figured out which direction to walk in. And now I wanted to film, but for some reason my phone is, I guess that's what it does now at night. I don't know, but it puts on a light so it can film in the dark, and I don't know how to turn it off. And to just use like the street lights and things. In the restaurant, like the restaurants will have bright lights, because traditionally in Vietnam people eat on the sidewalk, kind of like a cafe in Paris or somewhere. But and like really traditional, they will set up, like people will even bring pots and cook the food that they specialize in, and bring plastic chairs and set out the plastic chairs so that when you know, people who want to eat there can sit in the chairs and or you know, like if now it's crazy, like some places, especially in Hanoi, where Vietnam is a traditional place, but Hanoi is like super traditional. Like to me, it's beautiful, like how well they preserved things there. But they're Vietnamese, you know, whatever way of life. But there are places, or I guess places, you know, like if there's a specific food you want. And I was having this conversation with somebody. Like the Vietnamese, they specialize in what they make well. So you might go here for your pho, the soup. You might go somewhere else for nem spring rolls. You might go somewhere else for the beef, for bun bo. I did it right. Okay. Bun bo is beef noodles. The ba. I just said it wrong. The tones trip me up. But yeah, because like the thing you gotta understand about tones is if you go like the difference between ba and ba and is there like like how long you hold the vowel, whether you like accent it, whether it goes up or down. The sound like ba is down. It changes the word entirely. Like, you know, so you could have the same spelling but a different accent, you know, or no accent marking whatsoever over or under the vowel, and it's a totally different word. So that's why like if you try to read something phonetically, people literally might not know what you're saying and not be able to piece it together. So, because it could be like 3 different words, you know, that you're trying to say. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so like you go for, depending on what you want to eat, you can kind of go to where the people specialize in that, like whatever place makes that well, or usually it's like the only or the main thing they make. And so there are even instances where like a person will come and set up their little sidewalk restaurant only for like 3 hours. So you got to get there like from like if it's a soup that people eat in the morning, you have to get there from, or even just like anything. There are some people that just set up their stand for like a couple hours, and if you're local, or if a local told you or whatever, you figured it out, you know that you got to go there between like 12 and 3, or like, you know, maybe they're there from like 4 to 6 because they got other stuff to do, they want to take a nap, whatever, I don't know, maybe that's their high traffic time, but they pack up and go. And they don't necessarily arrive early. So like if you want that particular food from that particular place or that particular person, you got to show up on the corner where they set up between those hours. But so you have that level of like really local cuisine, and then you have places that are sidewalk restaurants but they stay there more permanently, and then you have like straight up restaurants that like we're used to. You have Western restaurants, you have Vietnamese restaurants, and the Vietnamese like permanent freestand or permanent structure brick and mortar restaurants, they usually have like open air, like maybe they don't have walls entirely, and it's breezy and open. And they do have places where you walk in and sit down. Today I went to a cafe and I got my bubble tea. So that was the other reason I wanted to do this. I went to Bingo Cafe, which I don't think it's a chain, but it's so cute. The girls working there were so cute. They were doing their homework, and so I kind of walked in and they're like, please, you can sit here while you look at the menu. So yeah, I got that, and I want some seafood because I'm at the coast, but I got some fast food. This is shrimp with chili sauce. I think American, you probably know it as sriracha. I'm pretty sure the the bottle is the same, so I'm pretty sure they're the same. Even though I thought sriracha was Thai, or maybe just the flavor. I'm sure you've seen that bottle it's like a red bottle with a pointy green, usually green top, and it's got a chicken or a rooster on it in white writing, and it's got Vietnamese or Chinese. It might have Chinese writing on it. That's this sauce, the chili sauce. And it was funny, like the girls were trying to say, do you want chili sauce or ketchup? But like, again, their language is tonal, ours isn't. So they were saying, so the CH in Vietnamese makes the sound of TR in our language. So she was saying, it sounded like traditional, chili sauce. So she's like, do you want chili sauce? Or, it didn't even sound like ketchup, cashew. Maybe it sounded like cashew. And so like I was trying to figure it out, and thank God for Google. More people are doing that nowadays. Even though they were doing it like a little bit when I lived here, or in Hanoi, but so she pulls out the Google and types in Vietnamese what she's trying to say and holds it up. I'm like, oh, chili sauce or ketchup. And that just goes to show it's just as difficult for them going to English at first once they, appreciate the difference between tonal and a non-tonal language and like the nuances like the CH and the TR. It's difficult for them just like it's difficult for us because we try to read things phonetically and we don't really, we have to develop the way to pronounce the tones and to understand what the markings mean and all that stuff that tell you what tone to use, and how to there's to make your voice go up or down, or like staccato where it's like sharp, short where you shorten the sound. Anyway, so so I'm tired. This is cold by now and there's no microwave in here. I'm gonna have this doesn't come, oh my gosh. Oh no, there's a straw. My bubble tea comes with a straw. So this is a traditional milk tea, and this is actually, you're looking inside the container. They have nice cups. I might save this. And they had some even more permanent ones that were cool. I'm gonna use this as a travel mug or something. But yeah, they had one with like a Mickey Mouse hat on it. Another one that's really tall, and cool. But anyway, this is bubble tea. These are tapioca pearls. They said they had black bubbles and white bubbles. These are the black bubbles. To get this, you would ask for just like a traditional milk tea, bubble tea, black tea with bubbles. It comes in a million gazillion flavors nowadays, but more traditional is black. I also like, or the black milk tea, the milk tea, or like traditional milk tea, traditional bubble tea, what this is. It's got a few names it goes by. I like the matcha green tea, bubble tea, milk tea, which is green tea with condensed sweet milk and the bubbles. You can get fruity bubbles. They said they had white bubbles. I don't know what the white bubbles are made of or what they taste like, and I wasn't trying to find out tonight. You can get fruit tea if you don't like tea, or if you don't like like the black tea or matcha tea or whatever. Honestly, I recommend fruit tea with fruit bubbles for starters, just so you can get used to the texture, and it's fruity, it's really delicious. And they have a variety of fruits that you can use. So it's basically like a fruity, I don't want to say like Kool-Aid, but like a fruit tea. Like if you how you can make like blueberry tea, or like, like with the dried fruit basically, and then you boil it in the water and you get like a fruity thing. It's basically that. So this, I don't feel like sitting. I went to the ocean, I told you that. And everybody is out there. It's so lit. I know that the Vietnamese like to go when the sun goes down, like dusk. You'll see people come out with like families and kids, but they're really out there. And a lot of the tourists, there are other Asian tourists, I think, maybe from other parts of Vietnam, as well as like China, and probably some Koreans. A lot of Koreans here in Vietnam in general. And some white people. I saw one black guy getting into a taxi. But again, Da Nang there's a big, a sizable foreign community here that, like there's a lot of investment and development going up. So I wanted to do the night walk and show you what it looks like around. I was like taken aback and kind of second guessing myself for coming here because it looks really junky, like the streets. It looks just like a hurricane hit it almost. But really, I think it's because they're building up so much and developing, and that's what it looks like here when that happens, because they're like, uprooting and dismantling so much stuff. There is a little bit of trash that I've noticed around too, but, and the sidewalks are really, in disarray, which I cannot remember which part of the city I went to the first time, because it was kind of like that, but it was a little more orderly. The sidewalks were kind of broken, but it was like a strip of cafes, restaurants, maybe a hotel or two, like a small ones. And I met an Afro Francophone lady who was just opening up her cafe, and so I went in there and got some food and like breakfast or lunch or whatever, and talked to her for a bit. And this was like back in 2013, probably 2012, 2013 probably. And so she was cool. And they were like right across the street from the ocean. Like there's Main Road and then the ocean. And I went to that beach for the day, like across from her strip or whatever, where her cafe was. I cannot remember how to get back there, because I honestly think I got there by accident. Like I got lost the first time because I took a bus or something to get here. You can take buses to travel around Vietnam, and I was probably like in the south in Ho Chi Minh City, and took a bus to explore and stop in every major city along the way. And that's how I discovered Nha Trang, my favorite beach town, and this place, Da Nang. I'm gonna keep doing that. And yeah, it's just it looks very much under construction. And they have a subway here now, like an underground subway. I passed by a subway station, which is cool. The sign looks cute. We're gonna go by there tomorrow because I'm gonna go to the beach and show you guys around. But just warning you about the scenery. It's not unsafe around here. It's cool. This is actually considered a nice neighborhood where I'm staying. There are some Asian luxury hotels along the beach too. There's like a couple sky bars here, like rooftop bars, and groceries. So I'm tired. I'm gonna stay in tonight, or if I feel a second wind, because it's 8 right now, I'm gonna maybe I'll go out and have a drink or something. But I'm gonna have my seafood, my shrimp, and then I'm gonna have so I went to the store. It's right behind me. I went to the store and got some snacks so that I could stay in. So I'm gonna do kind of a Vietnamese thing. I got my shrimp for protein because the cafe was near the beach, so I thought they would have good shrimp. And I'm gonna do some ramen, or some noodles, braised beef noodles. And people will have this as like a meal, a light meal, a snack, or whatever, kind of like we do in the US. But noodles are like a huge deal here, even like the packaged kind, the ramen. And the grocery stores here have an entire aisle dedicated typically to just noodles, like ready-made noodles like that, because they're kind of a staple here. Even though like like a nice homemade meal will have like noodles made not from scratch, but like fresh noodles, not like prepackaged in something like this, like where you boil the noodles, or boil